Electric vehicles are all the rage today, especially popular in places like the Valley. They're often seen as the future of transportation, praised for saving money on gas and offering environmentally friendly alternatives. People are excited about them, but just as eager to see what comes next. As automakers push boundaries on weight, size, and performance, something big is unfolding in the automotive world, something few saw coming. While the world fixates on electric vehicles, one company has quietly been working on a breakthrough that could upend everything. Christian von Koenigsegg, founder and CEO of the high-performance carmaker Koenigsegg, has made a bold claim that could shake the entire EV industry to its core. He revealed that a sister company, FreeValve, has been developing a revolutionary engine technology for over 20 years, one that could change the future of performance cars forever. Koenigsegg is no ordinary automaker. Founded in 1994 by Christian von Koenigsegg, the Swedish company didn't emerge from an established legacy brand. It was born from a dream to build the ultimate hypercar, driven by ambition, engineering genius, and a refusal to follow conventional thinking. Koenigsegg's first production car, the CC8S, debuted in 2002 and set the tone for what the brand would stand for: radical innovation. Featuring a carbon fiber monocoque chassis, the CC8S reduced weight drastically without compromising strength, a breakthrough that would become standard in high-performance automotive engineering. Koenigsegg's focus has never been just on making fast cars. Instead, the company is driven to redefine what internal combustion engines are capable of. Over the years, Koenigsegg has released increasingly powerful and record-breaking vehicles. The Agera RS, released in 2015, became the world's fastest production car, reaching an astonishing 284.55 miles per hour. While other companies leaned into hybrid and electric drivetrains for performance, Koenigsegg doubled down on ICE, achieving incredible results by refining and rethinking engine technology. Then came the Jesko, a hypercar designed to break the mythical 300 miles per hour barrier. Named after Christian's father, the Jesko combined extreme aerodynamics with a lightweight V8 engine to deliver an unmatched power-to-weight ratio. Around the same time, Koenigsegg introduced the Gemera, its first four-seater, a car that proved practicality and performance could coexist. What made the Gemera especially unique was its hybrid powertrain, a twin-turbo three-cylinder engine paired with electric motors to deliver extraordinary output. Koenigsegg's success comes from resisting the herd mentality. While most automakers rushed into electrification, Koenigsegg questioned whether batteries were the only future. Not because electric vehicles aren't impressive, they are, but because internal combustion engines still hold untapped potential. The brand focused on developing FreeValve, a revolutionary camless engine system that improves efficiency, power delivery, and emissions control. This technology proves ICE can still evolve in remarkable ways. At the same time, cracks have begun to show in the EV revolution. Battery technology, though improving, has limitations. Issues such as limited raw material availability, charging infrastructure, and battery degradation have raised concerns. Many consumers who were once enthusiastic about EVs are now reconsidering. Charging networks remain inconsistent, and range anxiety is still a real issue, especially in rural areas or regions with extreme climates. And now, as the rest of the industry focuses on scaling EVs for the mass market, Koenigsegg continues to ask deeper questions. What if electric isn't the only answer? What if true innovation lies not just in changing the power source, but in reimagining how we extract power altogether? This thinking gave rise to the FreeValve technology, perhaps one of the most disruptive engine innovations since the invention of variable valve timing. By removing the traditional camshaft and allowing each valve to operate independently through pneumatic, hydraulic, or electric actuators, FreeValve unlocks an unprecedented level of control. The engine can breathe exactly how and when it needs to, depending on power demand, fuel type, and even emissions requirements. In practical terms, this means better fuel economy, lower emissions, and more power from smaller engines. It's ICE 2.0, not a relic but a rebirth. In a world racing toward electric drivetrains, this approach might seem contrarian. But it's not about being different for the sake of it, it's about solving real problems. EVs are impressive in their own right, especially for urban environments and short-range commutes, yet they still rely heavily on lithium, cobalt, and nickel, materials often mined under controversial conditions, with supply chains that raise ethical and environmental red flags. Not to mention, the process of manufacturing EVs generates a substantial carbon footprint before the vehicle ever hits the road. That's where Koenigsegg's vision stands apart. By blending sustainable fuels, ultralight materials, hybrid powertrains, and modular designs, Koenigsegg aims to achieve net zero driving, not just in tailpipe emissions, but in total life cycle impact. Imagine a high-performance vehicle that runs on biofuel or synthetic fuel, emits near-zero pollutants, and still delivers the raw emotion and mechanical purity that driving enthusiasts crave. That's not a pipe dream, that's the Jesco. That's the Gemera. That's the future Koenigsegg is building, one cylinder, one valve, one carbon fiber panel at a time. Christian von Koenigsegg often says, "We're not against electric cars, we're against putting all eggs in one basket." And in a time when governments, automakers, and media outlets appear to be marching in lockstep toward an all-electric future, that statement is more than just a contrarian soundbite. It's a call for balance, for wisdom, and for long-term thinking. That philosophy, once seen as eccentric or even regressive, is now gaining real traction. Around the globe, regulators are beginning to acknowledge the challenges of transitioning too quickly to a single solution. Supply chain disruptions, raw material shortages, insufficient charging infrastructure, and grid instability are all proving that electrification, while important, isn't a silver bullet. As these realities unfold, Koenigsegg's multi-pathway approach appears less like rebellion and more like foresight. While many automakers are busy repackaging identical battery-powered SUVs with artificially generated engine sounds, Koenigsegg is exploring deeper questions. How do we create machines that excite, inspire, and endure? How do we innovate without compromising emotion or environmental responsibility? And most importantly, how do we preserve the art of driving in a world dominated by screens, sensors, and silence? Because the truth is, not everyone wants a 6,000-pound electric SUV with subdued performance, cookie-cutter styling, and a charging network that requires planning every long-distance trip like a lunar mission. There is still a passionate segment of drivers who yearn for the visceral, a mechanical heartbeat under the hood, the intoxicating blend of combustion engineering and artistry. For these people, driving isn't just a way to get from point A to point B, it's a sensory experience, a form of self-expression, a romance. Koenigsegg understands this better than anyone. And rather than compromise that emotion in pursuit of compliance, they're asking, why not have both? Why not engineer vehicles that offer soul-stirring performance while embracing sustainability through synthetic fuels, hybridization, lightweight materials, and radical new combustion systems like free-valve? This isn't about being nostalgic for the past, it's about redefining what the future can look like. Because performance, sustainability, and emotion don't have to be mutually exclusive. In fact, when pursued with vision and discipline, they can become the foundation of a new golden age in automotive design. One where machines inspire awe not just because of what powers them, but because of how intelligently and beautifully they're made. Koenigsegg doesn't aspire to flood the roads with millions of vehicles. That's not the mission. The mission is to push boundaries, to show what's possible when engineering meets imagination. To build cars that challenge conventional wisdom and force the rest of the industry to ask harder questions. Just like the original CC8S shook the hypercar world in 2002, every Koenigsegg that follows is a message. We can do better. We must do better. And it's working. Today, as mainstream manufacturers begin exploring synthetic fuels, lighter platforms, and more flexible regulations, one can't help but see Koenigsegg's fingerprints in the shift. Their relentless innovation, from the Regera's direct drive system to the Gemera's revolutionary hybrid architecture, is influencing more than just niche markets. It's influencing philosophy. It's proving that sustainability doesn't have to be boring and that the car of the future doesn't have to be a soulless appliance. As the world debates the future of mobility, Koenigsegg isn't trying to dominate headlines with exaggerated promises or greenwashed marketing. Instead, they're quietly, relentlessly building a future that balances innovation with emotion, technology with tradition, and performance with responsibility. It's not just about being first or loudest, it's about being right. Because if history is any indicator, when Koenigsegg makes a move, the world takes notice. Just as their early supercars challenged Ferrari and Bugatti, their current vision is challenging the entire direction of the automotive world. And in doing so, Koenigsegg reminds us that the road ahead doesn't have to be fully electric. It can be more exciting, more diverse, more human, and far more innovative than we ever imagined.